Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to show you guys how to just draw very simply with graphite. And so whenever you draw, the first thing that I want to show you is how I hold the pencil, and I'm kind of choked back on it like that. Some people use their grip like this, and that's another way. And the reason that people do that is that it actually helps you kind of loosen up and it prevents you from drawing really tight. So what you don't want to do is I'm going to show you what you don't want to do, which is you don't want to go like this right off. Okay, so see how I'm like choked all the way up on the pencil and I'm pressing down? And the reason that you don't want to do that is that when you do that, you are making such a dark mark that it's going to be really hard to erase. So, you know, one thing that sometimes people do when they start drawing is they spend half their time making lines like this and then erasing them. And that obviously leads to a lot of frustration, and you know, that's just not what you want to have happen. So it's better just to keep a really light, you know, so again, whether you hold it like this and you're kind of like, this makes it easier to move your wrist around like that. Like, see how you can kind of like, you're moving your wrist as opposed to just like, or your arm, as opposed to being really tight like this, you know. I tend to actually draw more like just choked up, like I still hold it like that, but I sometimes will sort of like go back and forth in terms of that grip. Now, once you actually have, you know, the pencil sort of the marks where you want them, then you can make it a little bit darker like I did here. And in any graphite drawing, then, so that was the first tip. The first tip is how you hold your pencil and how you make your marks. So light marks, looser grip. Okay. Second thing is, as you are drawing, if you darken up areas a little bit in certain areas, like here and there, see how this gives such a more 3D effect than if it's the same pencil weight all around. So let's say this was done and I was like, okay, you know, I'm happy with how this looks. I'm going to now darken it. So look at how different this looks. You know, if I make like an outline around it, see how I flatten that out? So notice this versus this, right? This feels a little bit more 3D, and then this is flattened because I made this pencil outline. So instead, you know, obviously I already did, I'm not going to try to get rid of that now, but what you can do is keep some areas light and then other areas you're going to darken up like this. So having that line variation in terms of how dark your lines are, how much you're pressing down, that's going to give it a little bit more of a 3D look. So that's the second tip for graphite. Okay, so now my third tip for you is to actually use the object that you're drawing and not a photograph. So I'll show you. I'm drawing this pomegranate. And the reason that I always suggest to draw from life when you're learning how to draw, as opposed to like a photograph or out of your head, is that it helps you start getting better observational skills. So why not use a photograph, right? So, you know, a lot of times people do, and it's not like the worst thing to do. It's fine, especially if it's a really great photograph, like it's really detailed. But the thing with a photograph is that it already flattens it out. So it's like you're going from a flat image to a 2D. So it's like 2D to 2D as opposed to 3D to 2D. That's probably the easiest way to explain it. Whereas if you're using, you know, something like you're actually drawing the object, you're just going to have a lot more detail that you're going to be able to observe. So, you know, whenever possible, draw from actual objects. And I think you'll find that will help you. Hope you learned something new in this video. Please subscribe and I'll see you next time. Thanks.